Welcome back to Madrid Pulse, your home for everything Real Madrid. This is the place where we bring you the latest news, in-depth updates, and reactions from inside the Santiago Bernabeu. If you love Los Blancos, make sure you stick around because every match, every press conference, and every big moment will be covered here with passion and detail. Xabi Alonso stepped into the spotlight at the Santiago Bernabeu for his very first La Liga game in charge. And although the night was far from perfect, it ended with 3 crucial points for Real Madrid. The new era under Alonso began with a 1-0 win against Osasuna, secured by a lone Kylian Mbappe penalty. It was not the most fluent performance by Los Blancos, but given the changes, the lack of rhythm, and the early stage of the season, the win carried enormous value. After the game, Alonso was candid and honest in his reflections, admitting that the performance showed both positives and areas that need improvement. He explained that with only 2 weeks of preseason, the team is still far from reaching its full potential. He pointed out that Madrid looked well-organized defensively, but lacked the necessary composure and sharpness in the final third. Against Osasuna's low defensive block, the team struggled to create clear-cut chances, and that, according to him, is something they must address moving forward. Despite the frustration, Alonso remained calm, stressing that the early matches are about fine-tuning the system and getting players comfortable with the new ideas. With 2 more games before the international break, he expressed confidence that the team would grow stronger. The victory, he said, provided the peace of mind needed to keep pushing forward. A major talking point was the performance of the club's new signings. Alonso was quick to defend them, praising their composure and integration into the team despite the pressure of playing at the Bernabeu. He insisted that none of the 4 were overawed by the occasion, noting that they played solidly, avoided mistakes, and showed that they belong. He also highlighted the impact of Franco Mastantuono, who came off the bench in the second half and impressed with his energy and skill. Alonso praised the young Argentine for his eagerness and noted that even though he had not been training fully with the squad, he still managed to make a positive impression in his debut. Another standout was Arda Güler, whose quality and intelligence Alonso singled out in his post-match comments. The Turkish youngster provided stability and control in midfield, allowing Madrid to sustain their attacking momentum, especially in the first half. Alonso stressed that the club must continue giving Güler minutes so he can develop into an important player for the future. He also dismissed rumors of tension with Rodrigo, clarifying that the Brazilian remains a crucial part of his plans and that his absence against Osasuna was purely a tactical decision. Mbappe, meanwhile, returned to action with a fresh look, wearing the number 10 shirt for the first time in an official match. Alonso praised his ambition and leadership, noting that the Frenchman not only wanted to perform better individually, but also sought to inspire those around him. According to Alonso, that hunger is exactly what Madrid needs, and Mbappe's ability to create decisive moments will be vital throughout the season. Looking at the tactical side, Alonso admitted that Osasuna's ultra-defensive approach caught him slightly off guard. While he had expected them to push higher, they sat deep and denied Madrid space. He acknowledged that the team had not yet trained enough to properly deal with such scenarios, but promised that solutions would come. He stressed the importance of learning when to switch play, when to take risks, and how to get more players into the box in these types of games. Defensively, the partnership of Dean Huijsen and Eder Militão attracted attention, but Alonso made it clear that no player has a guaranteed place in the lineup. He reminded the press that Antonio Rudiger, David Alaba, and others would also compete for spots. Still, he was particularly pleased with Militão, who showed great form after his long injury absence. That solidity, Alonso said, was one of the big positives of the night. The evening also saw the return of Dani Carvajal from injury, and Alonso praised not only his footballing qualities, but also the leadership and experience he brings as captain. He emphasized that Carvajal's presence will be fundamental for Madrid, both in La Liga and in Europe, as his knowledge of what it takes to win can be transmitted to the younger players. In the end, the performance may not have been perfect, but the result was exactly what Alonso wanted for his debut. A win at the Bernabeu, 3 points on the board, and a foundation to build upon. His words reflected both realism and optimism. He acknowledged the gaps in Madrid's play, but was also quick to underline the potential, the hunger, and the excitement he feels about leading the team forward. For Alonso, this was just the first step in a long journey, and for Madrid fans, it was a glimpse of the project taking shape. As Manchester City are making serious moves to lure Rodrigo away from the Santiago Bernabeu. Could one of our most talented and decisive attackers really swap Madrid white for City blue? We break down all the latest reports, what this means for Real Madrid, and how this could shake up European football. Manchester City fans could be in for one of the most exciting transfer stories of the summer, as the club has been strongly linked with a sensational move for Real Madrid star Rodrigo goes. Reports from multiple reliable sources, including Fabrizio Romano, suggest that Pep Guardiola has identified the Brazilian forward as a dream signing. The potential transfer is beginning to gather real momentum, especially with the current dynamics at the Etihad and the possibility of some reshuffling in the attacking department. Rodrigo, who has been a key figure for Real Madrid in recent seasons, could bring a completely new dimension to City's already world-class attack. At just 24 years old, he has the perfect blend of youth and top-level experience, having already won La Liga and the Champions League multiple times. His ability to play across the front three, especially on the right wing or as a false nine, makes him an ideal fit for Guardiola's flexible and fluid style of play. What makes this story even more intriguing is the fact that Real Madrid are reportedly open to negotiating if Rodrigo expresses a desire to leave. The Spanish giants value him highly and are said to be looking for a figure around $100 million. For a player of his pedigree and age, this is a significant fee, but one that Manchester City are more than capable of paying if they truly see him as the missing piece to their squad. The potential arrival of Rodrigo could also be connected to how Guardiola wants to evolve his team in the next phase of his reign. After the historic treble in 2023 and another strong campaign last season, the challenge for City is to stay fresh, unpredictable, and ahead of rivals both domestically and in Europe. Rodrigo's qualities make him a perfect candidate for that evolution. His quick acceleration, technical dribbling, and intelligent movement off the ball are traits that Guardiola values immensely. He is also a big game player, having scored crucial goals for Real Madrid in Champions League knockout stages, most notably during their 2022 run to the trophy. For City fans, the thought of Rodrigo combining with Erling Haaland, Phil Foden, and Bernardo Silva is mouthwatering. It would add yet another layer of unpredictability to a team already considered one of the most dangerous in world football. From Manchester City's perspective, this is also a strategic move in the transfer market. Bringing in a player like Rodrigo would not just strengthen the squad, but also weaken one of Europe's main rivals in the Champions League. Real Madrid have long been a powerhouse, and their squad depth and attack is formidable, but losing a player of Rodrigo's caliber would still be a blow. City's ambition has always been about competing at the very highest level and staying one step ahead of rivals like Madrid, Bayern Munich, and PSG. This signing could be a statement that reinforces City's dominance in Europe for years to come. There is also the question of how Rodrigo himself views this potential move. Playing under Pep Guardiola is a dream for many top footballers. His track record of improving players, even those already world-class, is second to none. For Rodrigo, joining City would mean playing in a league that challenges him week in, week out, while also giving him the chance to be part of a side that dominates possession and creates numerous scoring opportunities every game. The Premier League's pace and intensity could push him to develop even further as a player, and he would be stepping into a squad where competition for places would keep him sharp. Timing will be crucial in this transfer pursuit. The summer transfer window is ticking down, and City will have to act decisively if they want to land Rodrigo before the deadline. Real Madrid, for their part, might want to ensure they have a suitable replacement lined up before allowing such a high-profile exit. The fee being quoted, around $100 million, reflects not just Rodrigo's talent but also his importance to Madrid's current setup. However, City's financial strength and ambition mean they can afford to make such a move without hesitation if they are convinced he is the right fit. For Manchester City supporters, the possibility of Rodrigo in sky blue is more than just a transfer rumor. It's a vision of how the club could continue to evolve into an even more complete and unstoppable force. The Premier League champions already have depth, but adding a player of his ability could take them to a level that few teams in football history have reached. If the deal happens, it would be a bold statement of intent, showing that City are not content to stand still but are constantly looking to refresh and strengthen their squad. The coming weeks will reveal whether this is just another headline or the beginning of a blockbuster move that could define the season. One thing is certain: if Rodrigo does make the switch to Manchester, the Etihad faithful can look forward to another thrilling chapter in the club's ongoing rise to footballing supremacy.